in store for an exciting couple of days. I understand this is probably one of the strangest gigs you've ever played.
Biggie, what's up?
On tour, we're used to hotel rooms and things of that nature.
Unlike many of our shows tonight, people, it's just about you and us, all right?
Our normal tour schedule has us in an 18-passenger van driving around the country and staying in hotels.
We didn't fly all the way out here not to rock.
There was some scheduling problem and we didn't have a hotel and we couldn't get a hold of our van, so we asked the Navy to put us up for a night on the Enterprise and fly us out here. And I'd have to say that the landing yesterday was pretty intense.
We go from 220 miles per hour to no miles per hour in less than 0 seconds.
Today, in about 2 hours, we get to sit back in the same plane,
Getting
catapulted off this little airport in the middle of nowhere, and we go from 0 to 140 in like 3 seconds.
And hopefully we'll also be granted the request we had for the Navy for full
Please take off your
body cavity searches before we leave.
I'd like to say I had no part of that request.
It's not hard to reach back to the day underneath that Iowa sun.
Caroline Spine, the name of the band, kind of exemplifies all the virtues in life that we wish we had. Things like patience and peace and strength.
This is not fun time.
And Caroline being this kind of guardian angel type of figure that that kind of keeps us going, keeps our wheels turning.
I think Sullivan was probably one of the primary reasons we were able to get the Navy interested in what we were doing. I heard about the 5 Sullivan brothers from Waterloo, Iowa, when I was a kid, and I thought that it was a legend.
5 Sullivan brothers came in the Navy during World War II, and they all were assigned to the same ship, which was operating in the Pacific, on the Juno. And she was sunk. When she was sunk, all 5 brothers went down with it. And the Navy after that didn't want to put a family like that together on the same ship.
And coming from a family where I have 5 brothers myself, I learned more that the story was true, and actually some government legislation had been passed that doesn't allow blood relatives to serve together under the same command unless there is another family member at home.
And at that particular time during World War II, it seemed like everybody was together. And when you heard something like that, all 5 at one time, it kind of hit you in the heart because it was sad.
Why don't we talk about maybe, some guys who gave the ultimate sacrifice so you could say anything you want into a microphone.
Cause Uncle Sam will send you a telegram, so he doesn't have to tell you over the phone now. I heard she cracked up when they found out what a war could cost. When all 5 of the boys were
Basically, our record company, Hollywood Records, got together and really got together with a team of people with the Navy, and they really wanted to get some kind of entertainment for the younger group of sailors that are on the ship. And
The crew of the Enterprise really got into the fact that we did Sullivan, and because of stations like yours getting the word out on the band, for the first time in history, the Navy flew a rock band to the USS Enterprise.
it's a real honor to come out here and do this.
You need one of these to get in there. It's really a bad scene. Let's check out the runway.
Yesterday, when we showed up, we got a tour of the whole ship. We came around, and one of the highlights was we got to come right out here.
Awesome.
It was amazing.
They call them shooters. They do all these signals that I have no idea what we're doing, but they let us mimic them. And we actually launched 2 jets.
They only lost 2 planes because of it. So. So you never actually think you're going to be that close to the planes taking off and landing.
I think one of the things that impressed me most is being able to actually come out on an aircraft carrier and seeing how the crew and the pilots and everyone works together. Going back to the mainland, it'll be very nice to fall asleep and know that there are people out here 24 hours a day making sure that I don't have to worry about anything while I sleep.
We're out in the middle of the Atlantic right now, and I'm calling you. This long line isn't the long line for our concert tonight. It's the long... What is this line for? Smoking line. This is a smoking line.
We'll all come to wait around and go smoke.
You have to wait in line to smoke.
I'm not guaranteeing anything.
Tax dollars at work.
On behalf of the entire
We should also be doing Pride Show on Friday.
Yeah, you know, it ain't too many black holes in this city.
The show that we played on the Enterprise actually took place below the flight deck in the hangar where they keep the planes. And it was really fantastic, not only to see the planes, but to see a couple thousand sailors crammed into that area. And I guess the administration of the boat had let them all dress in civilian clothes. So it was actually like being at just a really cool concert. And it was fantastic.
It rocked.
It was awesome. We had a great time.
We got to rock the boat.
Actually, we were out on the flight deck before the show, so we got to hear the decibel level of the F-14, so we knew what we had to compare our sound with.
Rock!
Grim Reaper will never die. You can't beat him with talent, beat him with volume.
That's right.
Turn it up! There you go.
I didn't expect that much reaction out of everybody.
Really?
Fucking crowd surf.
A good time was had by all.
We stayed for about an hour after and got to meet most of the audience members, and it was I think one of the bands that I was most excited about touring with was probably the Kiss reunion tour. We also went over to Germany with Aerosmith and Bush to play a festival over there, and we had heard that the German crowds were pretty rowdy, and that wasn't even half the case. You wear Levi's jeans over there, and you're a rock star. We had the whole van experience with the crowd shaking the van, and we were like, you don't know us.
The Kiss medley is great because Kiss was the first band to give us a chance. We were the only unsigned band to open up for them during their reunion tour. They were very cool to us.
We have a new album in the works as of fall, and hopefully an early release next year. And we also had something on the American Werewolf in Paris soundtrack, Scott Jones.
That's right, we did.
A movie came out called An American Werewolf in Paris. Any of you guys heard of that? Well, for those of you who saw the movie or got the soundtrack and you made it all the way to track number 10, you found a band called Caroline Spine and a song called Turn Blue.
And it's my favorite track on the record, by the way.
Should have been the single.
I didn't want to go away. I did everything she told me. I did everything she told me.
I've read before that we have been quoted as saying we like to dig into things that aren't obvious. And I think what I meant by that was basically there's a lot of things that go on in daily life, a lot of things that we take for granted. And it seems to me that some of the important things don't present themselves every day and are not completely obvious. And I grew up a certain way, everybody grows up a certain way, and I have certain priorities in my life, and I'm the songwriter, so I write about them.
And as you shut the door, I put my eye back on the floor. When all I really wanted was to look some more. Does a wallflower play, or does a wallflower stay on his wall?
We had a single called Sullivan, which was our first single off of Monsoon, our Hollywood Records debut. And it had quite a bit of success at radio. Now that Sullivan has run its course and we've been able to fly out to the USS Enterprise and play for the crew, the new single is Wallflower. And Wallflower is a slightly different song than Sullivan in the sense that I think similarly they're deep songs, heavy lyrics, but Wallflower has a little bit more to do with the character of an individual rather than the story of a generation, let's say.
Oh, his wall. Tell me, does a wallflower...
It's going to open a lot of new doors for us. It'll be exciting to see how these kids react to our music.
And in a lot of the places that we're playing at this level, they can't get in to see us. So we're really excited to be able to have access to the people that can't come out and see us normally. And I think Wallflower is going to give us access to those people.